Bucket naked.
Please hit the gym. Please hit the gym, and the pH needs to be balanced as well.
I've been drinking. Can't keep your eyes open. Right now.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to JLerone Presents, where we talk about the facts, foolishness, and black female fuckery. Today's video, we're looking at Anton Daniels. Looks like these pregnant females are out here trying to commit crimes, man. They're out here trying to shoot up folks, and they're getting arrested for it, okay? So, again, like I said, more black female fuckery, man. These women are out here wilding out. I mean, you're pregnant, and you still trying to hold it down and be thuggish, right? Let's go ahead and get into the video real quick. Fair use, and let's see what these folks are talking about.
"19-year-old Brianna Portalatin, 8 months pregnant, was among other suspects brought out from a sort of criminal commune in a Bronx apartment. She was in handcuffs again.
And
Police
pregnant.
say it's her third gun arrest. What's
Busting it open for a real one.
I love you, babe.
The expectant
She 8 months pregnant. Wow. Come on, I love you, babe. Shit is crazy. 8 months pregnant now. She's about to deliver.
mom with a rap sheet is allegedly one of 20 members of the notorious Slaughtery Gang, indicted in 14 shootings in the Fordham section of the Bronx. In our exclusive look inside the NYPD takedown, we learn she's not the only female alleged trigger puller.
Y'all got to start identifying these women for who they are. They're breeders and they're killers. They're breeders and they're killers. Trigger pullers, baby incubators, and they loyal. They loyal until they not, because later on, once she go through enough and once she get you know what I'm saying, have enough suffering and do enough prison time for the men that they supposedly holding down, eventually then they gonna want to be like, I want to change my life around. I was manipulated. Nah, fam. You was hanging out with a bunch of dudes that you wasn't supposed to be with. Who knows what their parent situation is? And just as much as they holding guys accountable, they also have to hold these women accountable, but they're going to be less stringent. They're going to reach out to them more in order to solve for them. And that's what usually happens. But remember, this woman is pregnant, meaning that she's passing on a generational curse, and the same guys that she's pulling the trigger for, and the same guys that she's holding down, is also busting her down. And I'm wondering if it's even their kid. We don't even know who kid that is.
There's also a 15-year-old girl shown here in silhouette taking aim and firing. Then there's one of the gang's leaders, 19-year-old Nadine Asamoah, known as drill rapper Nay Benz. Investigators say she was one of the leaders. We're racing to the precinct right now because so far this morning the detectives...
Hey, she looked like the lady from the movie show. Y'all know what the movie show I'm talking about?
You talking about Law and Order? You know what, the lady from Law and Order? She do kind of look like the what's her name? Marisha Hargitay. I think that's her name. Law and Order. What, SVU? Yeah.
She looked like that lady.
Captured 8 subjects wanted in this case.
Nate Benz, police say you're a trigger puller. Police say you're a trigger puller. Is that true? What? Police say you're a trigger puller.
We saw three.
You know why those guys was yelling, right? It was yelling because they was trying to basically disrupt her ability to be able to talk and do an interview.
3 case members, which we've never had before, arrested. When you look at those 3 case members, total 5 trigger pulling incidents and 6 gun arrests amongst those 3 females. So we're seeing the violence, it's increasing, and it's concerning.
Female detectives are playing more prominent roles in the gun violence suppression division cases. Detective Lena Alexander and Detective Aaron Curry made history in May as the first female team to lead a gang
Cut it out, Anton.
takedown. For them, it's about having an impact on those they arrest and restoring safety to the community.
I was born and raised in East New York, Brooklyn, and it's very near and dear to my heart, and I just wanted to make a difference and making the streets hopefully a little bit safer.
Trailblazing Bronx DA Darcel Clark says many reasons why they're seeing girls get seduced by the gang lifestyle. That's why, in addition to prosecuting the cases, she also devotes her time and energy to prevention in the community to let girls know they have other options.
Some of them are afraid. Some of them are forced to do it. Some of them just, are curious. They like the bad boys, so they want to run in those circles to see what it's like. They may not necessarily be.
Hey, you see how she twists her neck when she started talking about it? Check it out.
Boys, so they want to run
like
in those circles to see what it's like. They may not necessarily be like that, but it's too late once you get caught up in it.
Poverty, and unstable family, and mental health issues are also factors, says clinical social worker Dr. LaShawn Paul, who treats teen girls at risk.
I personally don't believe that there's any specific diagnosis or things that you can look for, right? I think that the sooner that we get intervention for these girls, the better, before they become the lead, before they become the shooter.
There's so much more to
Or you can place more pressure on the parents to not have them ending up in a situation like this. Hey, by the time that they get to that age to where they start creating other children and stuff like that, it's already too late.
Yep.
It's already too late. They already taken over. They already for the streets. Yep. And they also are carrying the child of another killer. You got a killer breeding with another killer and creating a super killer, a super monster. And that's what you start seeing with all of these chicks. And it's easier to recruit a woman and have her do it, similar to how drug dealers recruit children, because you're less likely to suspect a child, you're less likely to arrest a child, and if that child ever gets caught, then they know that they're gonna hit them with more lenient charges, similar to the idea that if a dude is a killer and they're young, or they teach them young or whatever like that, they know that it's a possibility that they're gonna get out faster or sooner if they're not 17 or 18, because you're not going to be charged as an adult depending on how serious the crime is.
It's just like when Puffy was with J-Lo during that time in the 90s, they would pat the men down when they walked into the club to see if they had any guns, but they very seldomly would check the women. So that's why Puffy was able to let J-Lo carry that gun inside the club when he tried to shoot old boy. I think he was trying to shoot at I think it was Shine, wasn't it? He was trying to shoot Shine or somebody like that. One of the guys on his label. But yeah, and that was because J-Lo was able to bring the gun in. They weren't gonna check her. They patted down all the men, but they didn't pat down the women. But yeah, like I said, a lot of times women go as being unsuspected. They don't suspect the women to do anything. So they let, what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of these women can rise up like that. Bring it back up for what I said.
We never talk about who raising them, in the same way that this girl is going to raise a child in the prison system or raise that child to also be a killer, is the same way that she came up and the person before them, and that's why they call it passing on generational trauma, is because you never really break away from it. You become more immersed in it, and when you go to prison, a lot of times you wind up becoming even
Worse.
more of a prisoner or even more of a killer or a criminal, which
Yep.
then perpetuates even more crime until you then want to start claiming victim and say, oh man, I'm a victim of the system. No, you're not a victim of the system. You're a victim of your parents. You're a victim of bad decisions that came before you in your lineage. You need to hold your parents accountable, and then ultimately, we know we know who the criminals are. We know who they are. Y'all got to be careful. Just watch y'all back. Be careful who your children have as friends, because they can influence them in ways. And I was telling a guy the other day, I said, bro, don't you understand that you, as a single parent, because he was a single father, I said, don't you understand that you as a single parent, that in addition to that practically being a latchkey kid, because you got to get, somebody to help out or somebody to come and pick them up after school, or sometimes you got to drop your kid off to daycare. And they are spending more time learning the values in their adolescent years, especially in their earlier years, from their culture, from the people that surround them. And it becomes a cultural norm for them to be a degenerate and to be the worst thing for the culture and for society. But we're not taking no responsibility for that. And that's why we got to be careful who we have kids with. And you gotta marry before you carry, and you got to stick around for the kids. You got to do the thing that's in the best interest of the kids. Otherwise, your daughter might be getting pregnant by a dude that's a shooter, and they all getting arrested together, and she's saying, I'm with you, babe. She gonna care more about the thug than she care about her parents and her father and the way she was brought up. Time to get the strap. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
But yeah, like Anton said, man, it's all about generational curses, man. We spread that shit wildly throughout the black community. You wasn't raised right as a child, so then all that trauma and degeneracy that you picked up along the way, you just transfer it on to your child. Like I said, there's no corrections. So, but yeah, you guys drop some comments down below and let me know what you guys think. It's your boy JLerone with JLerone Presents. You guys, please be good to yourselves. By all means, let's be good to one another. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Ha 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 ha!